Thank you for tuning in to ISO 9001 in Everyday Life. ISO experts see ISO everywhere, and soon you will too. Let's make ISO 9001 fun, relatable, and maybe even exciting. Get ready to see your world the ISO way. Design and development requirements show up in places you might not expect. Take the bakery, We Make Cakes, for example. Every single cake order is custom, which means each one is a full design project. Requirements are gathered, designs are reviewed, changes are approved, and the final product is validated with frosting. Who knew ISO 9001 could be so delicious? Here's the high-level design and development plan for every cake project. They follow 6 stages: capturing customer requirements, creating artistic renditions of the cake, conducting design reviews, controlling changes, performing verification and validation, yes, tasting counts, and finally releasing the design for production. In other words, their design process is fully controlled and simple. It's a piece of cake. The customers shared their vision using a simple hand-drawn sketch along with clear requirements. The cake must be chocolate with chocolate frosting, include a candle, serve 6 people, be delivered by June 7th, and cost no more than $75. Requirements captured, scope defined, constraints approved. The cake designer now has everything needed to create a masterpiece. In stage 2, an image of the customer's vision was created and presented for a design review. The customer texted back her approval, our official sign-off to move on to stage 3. Yes, text messages do count as documented information. With approval secured, the chef created a sample of the cake and the frosting and selected a few candle options for consideration. The requirements were reviewed, the prototype was baked, and the sample was secured to protect from unauthorized sampling. In stage 4 verification, the chef verified that the correct recipes were followed, the candle selection matched what purchasing had available, and the final cost still produced a profit for the company. In other words, requirements were met, resources were confirmed, and finance did not panic. In stage 5 validation, our in-house cake testers validated the taste, texture, and aroma. Kyle thoughtfully provided photographic evidence to support the validation results, purely for documentation purposes, of course. The design was officially released, production work instructions were created, and a photo of the finished cake was provided as an assembly aid, because even cake deserves a reference document. Production was scheduled for June 5th to ensure the June 7th delivery date was met. The team celebrated their success with, of course, cake. Just when we thought the celebration was complete, the customer called requesting walnuts. Enter change control. The reason for the change was documented, and the risk and impact were reviewed in a spirited debate. In the end, all of the affected parties gave approval, and we confirmed the schedule and budget constraints could still be met. In this case, the change had impacts. The price increased to $95. The customer accepted the upcharge, the design process was repeated, and the cake was delivered on June 7th. Everyone was happy, especially the walnuts, because they are often excluded from parties due to nut allergies. That concludes this episode of ISO 9001 in Everyday Life, Clause 8.3.